Sup everyone, hope you're having a good day. I've got some yapping to do, and the yapping I want to do is related to what I was seeing when I was scrolling through Instagram last night. I was having a cheeky little doom scroll before I went to bed. Not good, by the way, it's bad for your brain. Do not recommend. Um anyway, I was doom scrolling. I was scrolling Instagram Reels. Um and I came across this reel, and it's a clip from the movie A Bronx Tale. I've never seen the movie myself. I think it's supposed to be pretty good. Um, and the clip was, or the main character, he was saying, the saddest thing is a wasted talent. That's what he said. It was like, I think it might be at the end. So the saddest thing in life is a wasted talent. Something like that. And I was like, no, that's facts. And then I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, well, he's right. It's very true. The saddest thing in life, maybe one of the saddest things, I don't know if it's the saddest, but it is very disappointing to see someone who has talent and not use it. Yeah, I don't know. I see that in, I don't know, I like soccer. I play soccer, and you see that with professional soccer players. These guys got mad talent, and they kind of end up as flops. And you're like, well, what are you doing, bro? And then I was thinking about how that applies in my life, and I was like, well, am I being a wasted talent in the life that I'm living? And I was like, well, yeah, sort of. The lifestyle that I'm currently living, I'm not doing as much as I can with what God has given me. And I was kind of like, well, we got to fix this, you know what I mean? We got to lace up the boots and get after it, type thing. And I was thinking about that quote, saddest thing in life is a waste of talent. And I was kind of like, in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the Lord, probably something that he would not like to say, something that probably makes him sad, is a wasted life. Someone who gave his life to Christ and then didn't do anything after that. They accepted Jesus into their lives, into their hearts, and that was it. And then they just, like, I don't know, lived under a rock till they died. You know what I mean? Like, didn't really get much done. Yeah, and I was kind of like, well, what do I need to change in my life so that I don't end up like that? Because I felt like that was the life I was living for the past couple of weeks, kind of just waking up, doing nothing, going to bed, kind of doing that for ages. And it's like, bro, you gotta do something, you know? And then I was like, well, what is that something? Or like, what's the point of me doing, for example, something that I've wanted to do for a long time is get good at playing the piano. I bought a keyboard like a year ago. I've been very on and off with it, but it's something I would like to get good at. And I was like, well, why should I even bother? You know what I mean? I can just listen to someone play the piano. What's the difference? And I guess the difference is, if I learn how to do it, I have the ability to make music for other people, which brings other people joy, makes other people feel better, makes the mood better, type thing. And I think it all comes back to a thing of loving God first and then loving others second. I feel like if you live with that as your priority, with that as your purpose, you will be fine. And your actions will revolve around that. So I don't know, playing piano is kind of a thing of, you're doing it so that you get to a point where you're skilled enough to be able to bring joy to others, which I think is a good thing. But the point I'm trying to make is you got to put in the work to get to that point. And the motivation is bringing joy to others, making music for other people to hear. With me completing my engineering degree, I got to work hard in that. I got to succeed in that so that I can benefit the lives of hopefully a future family, making enough money to make sure that they're all good. Yeah, stuff like that. You got to put in the work now. You got to sow now and you reap later. You can't sit here now and do nothing and expect to reap later. I think that's something that I was doing and something I was getting wrong in my life personally. So yeah, and I think also another thing to keep in mind, or something that I thought about last night as well, was the motivation to work hard, the motivation to get after it. Like, it used to be for me, I was like, well, if I don't do this thing, whatever it is, if I don't do it, the people that gave their time and effort, like my parents, like my grandparents, the people, they put their time and effort into me being educated, me being a good person, me being a follower of Christ. They put all that time into me. So if I don't do it, I'm letting them down. That was my mentality. I was like, if I don't do this, I'm letting down my parents. I'm letting down the people that have put time. I'm letting down friends. I'm letting down whoever, right? That's not a terrible mentality to have. That can kind of like bring you back up to a level where you're like, okay, well, I actually got to do this. But I think maybe a better motivation is that if I do it, the fruit of what comes out of me working hard is way more worth it. So instead of thinking about the disappointment of others if I don't do it, think about the joy of others if I do it. I think that's something that stood out to me. That when I was thinking yesterday, something that occurred to me, I was like, wow, I think that's probably a better mentality. It's kind of a more positive mentality, a more forward-focused mentality, rather than negative, being like, oh man, I'm letting everyone down. But I think maybe a mixture of both is better. I don't know. But yeah, I think if you focus on loving God and loving others, you're like, well, how can I do that? What are some things that I enjoy doing where I can love God and love others in that? Yeah. Just a couple of thoughts that I had yesterday. I think it's very important for me to talk about them. Maybe someone watching will feel the same way. And maybe something that I've said will resonate with you. So I think, yeah, instead of living a wasted life, being a wasted talent, I think if you focused on loving God and loving others in your long-term goals, your short-term goals will flow out of that. The little steps you take will be easier to find if you understand what your long-term goal is. Yeah, focus on doing things to bring joy to others, bring joy to the world, bring joy to God. As he sees you doing these things, he's like, wow, I'm glad that I put Caleb on earth. You know what I mean? Like, make it worth it to God, even though it already is. He loves you enough. But yeah, work hard, stay strong. See you guys next week. Peace.